That's his son.
You think that's his son?
Yeah. First of all, Jay-Z offered him money. At first, he offered him bread, like, and everything, but his aunt didn't, like, approve of it. She said, no, Jay-Z got a lien on her house, all type of shit that was going on. The lady put up paperwork and everything with his name on it and all that. I mean, but Young Boy's so thorough, though, he just want a dad. He not trying to get no money. He not trying to do none of that. But something happened to him, and I was like, yo, that sound kind of weird. He said he was coming out from work, going to work, and it was a gun in his car. Like, when he opened the door, he seen the gun. He said he went to go, like, call his man, like, yo, did you leave a gun in my car? His man's like, no. He said, why you on the phone talking to his man? The cops pull up and lock him up. He said, he's telling the cops, no, that's not my gun. He's like, so he went in the building he was in, and they seen that somebody pulled up and put the guns in his car.
Oh.
And pulled off. I said, bro, I don't know nobody in the hood that got guns to just waste like that to do that. I don't know what. He's like, yeah, so like Jay-Z had a gag order against him, like trying to get a gag order and trying to. If my thing is, if it's not my son, I'll just take a test, get over with. Yeah.
Is the day of reckoning finally here? Has Reimer Satterthwaite actually forced Jay-Z, yes, Mr. Carter himself, to step up and face the truth about being his biological father? Because after a full decade of dodging, weaving, and using every legal loophole in the book to avoid a simple paternity test, the courts are no longer playing games. That's right, word on the street is a judge has officially slammed the gavel and ordered Jay-Z to submit to DNA testing once and for all. No more delays, no more excuses. After years of whispers, denial, and secret backroom battles, the truth might finally come out, and if it does, this could shake Jay-Z's entire empire to its core.
Do you believe wholeheartedly that Jay's your father?
I really do. And if it's not, why you can't prove me wrong? Like, it's not far as a proving me wrong thing. It's go to the courtroom and basically do what everybody else would have to do. Like, it's not, you don't have to prove me wrong. I just want the truth. Honestly, I can take a no. I can take, if I'm embarrassed at the end of the day, I can take that. I really can. I've been through a lot. I've seen a lot. I could take me being embarrassed. Like, just can't take nobody not saying
and
nothing.
Let me tell y'all, the Carter household is in a full-blown chokehold right now because Jay-Z's past is finally catching up to him in the worst way. Word on the street, that DNA test didn't just ruffle a few feathers, it allegedly confirmed what Reimer Satterthwaite has been screaming for decades, that he is Jay-Z's firstborn son. Yes, you heard that right. The man who's been painted as hip-hop royalty might have had a secret heir all this time. And now the internet is eating him alive for dragging Reimer through years of emotional turmoil just to avoid facing the truth. To make things even messier, Matthew Knowles isn't staying quiet either. He's reportedly letting Jay know exactly how badly he fumbled this one. And y'all already know it's never just a father-son drama when it comes to Jay-Z. Anytime he's caught up in chaos, Beyoncé gets pulled into the narrative too. Now, Matthew is allegedly furious that Jay continues to embarrass his daughter, dragging her name into scandals she has no business being a part of. But here's the kicker. After decades of silence and endless legal roadblocks, Reimer has finally scored a major breakthrough. The court officially gave his case the green light and ordered Jay-Z to hand over his DNA once and for all. For the first time in years, it feels like there's no more running, no more dodging. And let's be real, if you've been following this saga even a little, you know it felt like Jay had the power and the resources to bury this thing forever. But now, the tide is turning.
Contact me in any type of way, and that's all I'm asking. Is like, cause I honestly really want the case to be over with. Like, I've been going through, just like I said, a lot. And as I said, I'm not chasing nobody. I'm not trying to do this to make somebody seem like a bad person, a bad father. I'm not trying to make nobody seem like a bad person or nothing. I'm just really coming out here for the truth. I don't want no money or anything. I wasn't looking for none of that. I just want to know the truth. And if I can't go to the courts and get the truth, like, what is it really? Why you? What is it? I just really want it over. It's something that's really affecting my life, and I just want it over with.
The first whispers about Reimer Satterthwaite shook the internet way back in 2010 when he boldly filed his first paternity suit against Jay-Z. This wasn't just any random lawsuit either. This came barely to years after Jay and Beyoncé tied the knot. At the time, it felt like a bombshell nobody saw coming. But despite Reimer's determination to finally get answers about his identity, his efforts hit brick wall after brick wall. The Pennsylvania courts shut him down fast, ruling against him simply because he was already 18 when the case was filed. That technicality alone was enough to keep Jay-Z safe from scrutiny for the moment. But Reimer didn't stop there. He packed up his fight and took it straight to New Jersey, hoping for a fair shot. But Jay-Z's legal team came back swinging, arguing there was no reason for their client to submit to a DNA test in a state where he supposedly had no personal or professional ties. Just like that, a judge dismissed the case again. But here's where things get even messier. Reimer's Lawyers fired back, digging up tax documents allegedly showing a Sean Carter with clear connections to New Jersey. It seemed like a breakthrough, but Jay-Z's team quickly poured cold water on the revelation, claiming there was no proof that the Sean Carter in those records was actually J-Z. It may sound like a small technicality to some, but it was enough to get Reimer's case tossed out again. Yet even after so many setbacks, Reimer refused to back down. Instead, he began sharing painful and intimate details about his mother's past, details that he says make it crystal clear why Jay-Z could very well be his father. According to him, his mother was only 16 years old when she met and started dating Jay-Z, who was 22 at the time. By the time Ramir was born in 1993, his mother and Jay-Z weren't in contact. And she had also gotten back with her high school sweetheart, Robert Graves. At the time, she decided the best thing to do was to put Robert's name on Ramir's birth certificate, but she later admitted to her son, who his real father is, at one point. Reimer even managed to get a DNA test with Robert, the man he'd grown up believing might be his father. But when the results came back, they confirmed what Reimer had feared all along. Robert wasn't his dad. It was a gut punch, but it only strengthened Reimer's conviction that Jay-Z was the missing piece of the puzzle. But when it came time for Jay-Z to step up and take his own DNA test, that's when things got shady. Instead of cooperating and putting the rumors to rest once and for all, Jay-Z's legal team allegedly went into overdrive, scouring for every possible loophole to keep him from handing over his DNA. Delay after delay, motion after motion. It felt like a game of cat and mouse, and Jay seemed determined never to get caught. Fans started asking the obvious: if you've got nothing to hide, why run this hard?
I feel like, right now I feel like I got a bigger fight. This is part of my life, so I won't stop fighting for, the paternity or anything else. Whatever I put my mind to, I fully go. I was hoping that it wasn't true, but if it is, honestly, you cannot do things like that. You will get what you deserve. I don't know what them guys was thinking. I don't know what he was thinking. If it's true, only he can respond and get himself out of this.
Reimer's fight got so loud and so public that even the NOC and the ACLU stepped in to back him, putting serious weight behind his case. By 2014, he filed yet another paternity suit, refusing to let Jay-Z's legal machine bury him in technicalities. But just like clockwork, the case was tossed out again. Why? Because the courts claimed Reimer still couldn't prove that the Sean Carter in those New Jersey tax documents was the Sean Carter we all know as Jay-Z. Fast forward to now, and Reimer isn't playing small anymore. He's taken his battle all the way to the New Jersey Supreme Court, and for the first time, a judge has ordered Jay-Z to submit his DNA. This is a massive victory for Reimer, especially after years of being mocked and ridiculed online. The internet has dragged him relentlessly, calling him a clout chaser, a gold digger, and accusing him of trying to score a quick payday off Jay's billion-dollar empire. But if you've listened closely to Reimer, he's never wavered. He's said it countless times, this has nothing to do with money, fame, or attention. All he's ever wanted is the truth about his identity. Yet his quest for answers has come at a heavy price. Reimer claims Jay-Z's camp has tried to intimidate and harass him into silence. And the scariest part, he says he once found a gun planted in his car. Police even pulled up on him, questioning him like he was a criminal. It was only after surveillance footage surfaced showing someone slipping the weapon into his vehicle that Reimer was cleared. This isn't about clout. This isn't about a payout. For Reimer, it's about closure. It's about knowing who he is and finally ending the decades-long battle that's consumed his life. But with Jay-Z now court-ordered to take that DNA test, is the truth finally about to come out, or will the Carter Empire find another way to shut this down?
Fair due process, they just been, I don't know, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a judge, so I can't get in there and actually know fully what's going on. I'm only there to, say what I believe in, and, you guys can put me on a lie detector test, anything else you want me to do. I always been here to stand on the truth. I told them if it was wrong, I'm a man, I can apologize, but for me to go in there and ask for fair due process and not get it, and they just throw you all around like you're a rag doll, I just find that to be crazy, and I really think we need to change that. Like, it's craziness, I'm not asking for nothing. I always been on here. I wasn't never asking for nothing. People can say what they want. As I said, I work, I'm doing great. I gotta take care of my kids. Like, I'm driving a nice car, I'm getting nice income. So it's not like I never been here asking for nothing or trying to get 15 minutes of fame. So people just gotta realize that these court systems and these people that's out here and controlling these people that's in the court systems. We need to change it, because if we can't go and get fair due process, what are we all paying taxes?
Now that the law finally seems to be on Reimer's side, he's just relieved to see this decade-long fight nearing an end. But you know who's not so happy? Matthew Knowles. Word on the street is he's growing more and more frustrated with Jay-Z's past creeping back into the spotlight. And it's not just about Beyoncé. From the cheating scandals to Jay's rumored TIs with Diddy. And now this paternity mess, Beyoncé keeps getting dragged into drama she never asked for if the DNA results confirm Jay-Z really is Reimer's father and that he was involved with Reimer's mother when she was still a minor. The fallout would be catastrophic. We're talking about the Carters' entire legacy being put on the line. It's no wonder Jay-Z seems desperate to keep that door shut and protect the family he does claim. But here's the kicker: for the first time in years, Jay-Z finally broke his silence. He called this lawsuit the latest chapter in what he describes as a decades-long harassment campaign, insisting multiple courts have already rejected Reimer's claims. His legal team even denied the intimidation allegations, saying they only tried to contact Reimer's guardian to arrange a meeting, but were met with hostility. Still, let's be real, if Jay-Z is so sure he's not the father, why not just take the DNA test and shut it all down? The fact that he's let this drag on for years has the internet convinced there's something he doesn't want us to know. I really do fear for Ramir. Having to beg Jay-Z to take a paternity test for years is heartbreaking. I hope he has fair legal representation to protect him. It's wild that people have the power to allegedly manipulate legal process. Enough is enough. Take the test. I'm not going to lie. If it comes out that this is Jay-Z's son for real and Jay went all these years with ignoring this boy, then Jay-Z ain't the ninja y'all think he is. Because that's some loser, as I don't think Jay-Z can claim Ramir if he wanted to. Because if he doesn't, we'll all know that he's a PDF, and that's why he's been dodging the DNA test. I hope Ramir gets the justice he's looking for. But here's the real question: do you think it's possible Jay-Z is really Reimer's father? Have you ever taken a good, hard look at those side-by-side photos? The resemblance is unsettling. Sound off in the comments, because I need to know what y'all think. And don't forget to like and subscribe. We're just scratching the surface of this drama. And trust me, the tea is only getting hotter. See you in the next one, besties. Bye.